This is Great Ocean Roading. Whoa. I think I feel like I'm not actually here yet. Welcome to day 3 of our Great Ocean Road roadie, and today is all about the main attractions.
Which you can probably spot the main one, the most visited one in this whole trip, and that is the 12 Apostles behind us, but we've got mint weather,
So good.
so many great things to see, and today is proper roadie vibes. First stop of the day, Gibson Steps Beach, which is sort of a unique story about how this even became a tourist stop.
That is insanity.
Isn't that crazy?
We got the weather for it. This is stunning.
Look at all the blues. So, Gibson Steps, basically a guy, I think his name was Hugh Gibson or something, he decided he wanted beach access, so he carved the 86 steps down to the beach by himself. Imagine that, just being like, oh, you know what, I want to get down there.
And then Victoria, or whatever you want to call it, this part of the Great Ocean Road was like, let's make that a specific stop that tourists go to. I don't know, it's just weird. You don't normally hear that story, right? Like, things are created for the purpose of tourism, but was it Hugh was just decided one day,
That wasn't
nah,
me.
mate, I'm doing my own thing. I'm digging these out.
I gotta check the name.
You do.
Wow!
Thanks, Hugh.
Woohoo! I
This-
feel like we're officially, like, this is Great Ocean Roading.
Yeah, this is, bam, we just started.
There's a freaking waterfall behind you. What?
Oh, welcome to the paradise. And that's got a real broad church kind of vibe too.
Does, eh? Let's hope no one gets pushed off the cliff. So those limestone stacks out there, they're called Gog and Magog.
What kind of drunk Scottish person came up with
I
that?
do not know why.
If you've seen the 12 Apostles before, you would think that they are part of the 12 Apostles, but apparently they're not. So next thing up the road is actually the 12 Apostles, and we're going to go see how many left are still standing, because a few of them aren't there anymore. Well, this is confusing.
This is the centre over here.
It says the 12 Apostles, but it's on the wrong side of the road. We literally just were on the other side of the road, which is clearly where the coast is, but then it talks about this is the 12 Apostles.
Just park up and let's see, eh?
Very confusing. Okay, this makes a lot of sense. It's just a lot more set up than I think we thought it was going to be. So it actually goes under the main road, which of course gets us back over to the coast side.
Whoa. I think I feel like I'm not actually here yet. It feels quite surreal.
They don't look real. Woo. These colours as well.
So, in case you didn't know, these bad boys are the 7 Apostles. There once was 12. We're down to about 6 or 7 apparently, aren't we?
Yeah, well, they keep tumbling down because of erosion, and it's crazy to think that they used to actually be connected to the mainland. Because of the wind and the waves and everything, they're just slowly starting to...
Yeah, it's
Crumble,
a little
which is
bit of a
sad.
shame, yeah.
Yeah.
But they're still apparently up to 45 metres tall at the highest point. Well, we've seen a lot of beauty over the past few days, and this is the first place I have to admit that really made me sort of stop in my tracks, and we both really actually said, let's stop, put the cameras
Yeah.
down, and just,
Take
you
a
really
minute.
have to take a minute, because just the scale, the size of it all, just how beautiful it is, how stunning, it's completely understandable
It's
why
really- it's
it's
hard
become
to-
so popular.
Sorry to interrupt you. It's hard to like explain it, isn't it?
Yeah, I hope we've done a reasonable job of showing just how special it really is here, and very well set up. I mean, we were confused with the driving situation, but it makes a lot of sense. I think it was just the comparison that the first stop is just pull over,
side of the road.
walk down Hugh's steps, wander out onto the beach, Bob's your uncle.
I think maybe like the person who was supposed to do the research didn't research this one properly.
Oh, it's okay,
It
baby.
was me.
That works out well, but if you do come here, that is the confusion why you park on what feels like the wrong side of the road. Smart. It's almost like they thought about it. On to the next one.
On to the next.
Where's next?
Loch Ard Gorge.
Okay.
I can't remember what it's about, but I'll
I-
tell you when we're there.
I can't remember anything, but let's go check it out. Okay. Welcome to Port Campbell, which is not where we said we were going. Was it Grassroots?
Yes.
Oh, that looks very closed. So something that you need to be careful about in this area over the last, I don't know, sort of hour or 2 hours up and down the coastline of driving is there's not too many places where you can actually get food or get fuel, get gas. We sort of assumed we'd find somewhere this morning quite early to get a coffee and everything, but it is 11 a.m. and we haven't had coffee or food. So it's all pretty close on this stretch of road along sort of that 12 Apostles area. So we thought we'd jump ahead a little bit. We've come into Port Campbell and we'd go to this cafe that Stacey had found, which was supposed to be open. What was it called?
Grassroots Deli.
Grassroots Deli. It says it's open and it is closed. But there's a lot more going on in Port Campbell. So we're going to have to find somewhere to stop and eat and then backtrack 5 or 10 minutes to a few of the other stops we had planned. So we did find somewhere for some food.
Eventually. Got some French toast with bacon and banana and walnuts. And then baked eggs with spinach, camembert, and don't know what else is in there, but it looks delicious.
There's a real dairy kind of thing going on in this area. So there's a lot of like camembert whey and stuff
Yeah,
like that.
that's right, yeah.
That's good. Real local feel in Port Campbell. We've been sitting here and this table's been busy quite a few times. We haven't gone on the roadside. We went kind of back out behind this place, which is called, logo on the screen now because I can't remember. It seems like everybody knows everybody. Real community feel here. Everybody's asking, how's your kid and how's so-and-so and she's in college now and all this kind of stuff. But yeah, we're fueled up and we're ready to retrace our step, which is only about 5 or 10 minutes back to what's known as the Shipwreck Coast. And we're going to go and see what is the most well-known of those shipwrecks to a viewpoint. And I remember thinking to myself, if you're the most well-known, something must have gone wrong, and it really did, unfortunately, in this case.
So what went wrong was a ship called the Loch Ard was sailing from England to Port Campbell and got into some trouble, and of the 48 passengers and crew, only 2 people survived, and those 2 people were Tom and Eva.
Sad story, isn't it?
I know.
And now just thousands of people every year come to visit this point, which we just read on the sign back there. There's a couple of areas that are known that are quite treacherous, and there's a point in particular which is known as like threading the needle to get through. And I think one of the lookouts where there's been some erosion, there were 2 limestone
pillars.
2 pillars left standing, and they've just named them Tom and Eva.
Yeah.
Which is kind of nice. I think there's a beach view here.
Well, let's have a look.
There's a lot more here at this stop in particular than I thought. There's sort of arrows pointing in all sorts of directions. There's people
How'd they get down
hanging
there?
out down there. I have no idea how.
Wow, man.
So there's another archway and a razorback or something off in the other direction. Those are the other signs that had sort of thrown us off. But it turns out that where we were, which was right there where that lady is there, we just walked around the other side. But yeah, this one's kind of confusing. There's so much going on here. Oh, you've lost your glasses, love. That's a shame. And there's Tom and Eva. Well, this is working out perfectly. And then that is the gorge separation there.
This is London Bridge. Apparently it used to be a bridge. It's no longer a bridge because the middle of it kind of fell out or fell apart.
1990, eh?
Was it 1990 that
Yeah.
it happened? And there's this rumour, I don't know if it's true.
Sorry, you're awkwardly walking backwards.
We could turn.
Okay.
This rumour, I think, would have set Port Campbell. We've seen how small, I mentioned earlier, how sort of community-based it was. This rumour would have been like, what do they call it? Would have spread like wildfire.
Yeah, it would have set the town alight. Basically, there were two people out there, supposedly, when the bridge collapsed, and
They got stuck over the other side.
Stuck over the other side. Rumour has it they were having an affair, and the whole like newsworthiness of it got them snapped out.
Well, the two of them being conveniently rescued on a helicopter, apparently, would have probably given that away.
Yeah.
I feel like this one's quite mesmerising. Really bright, popping colours, although we've seen that a lot of the places, but maybe just more contrast. And the waves, I just said to Stacey, oh, that looks so appealing. I want to go for a swim. And she's like, nah.
Absolutely not.
Way too big. But along this coastline, it is like, I reckon it's a swimmer's paradise. Surfer's paradise.
Last stop of the day, we've come to the Grotto. It is not quite an arch, not quite a cave, not quite a... don't really know what it is. It's kind of all of those things all in one. It's kind of one of those things we're just gonna have to show you. It's easier to show you than explain it to you.
I haven't seen pictures of this one, so I
Do you know what I'm talking about?
Nah, I have no idea what.
He's gonna get down there and be like, okay, you needed to explain that better.
But I was just saying to Stacey as we drove in, you've done such a good job today with your planning, because we sometimes rotate who plans what or who researches what, and then we look into the, then I've looked this morning at what we're up to and stuff. But a lot of these places that we've been to, I reckon there's people even from Australia or others that have visited here and have no idea about the rumours or how this formed what was involved or anything like that. So I love it when we find little bits of information that go along with something, rather than just being like, that is sick to look at. Yeah. There's a little bit of something.
There's a story or a rumour, yeah.
This charming feature has been formed by erosion from the coast and from inland. And it is down there.
Is it what you expected?
Oh, I had no idea. I had literally had no baseline, no expectations whatsoever. It's just starting along this coastline as you'd expect, but it's that hole down through there, that archway.
So that's most of the main attractions along the strip of the Great Ocean Road ticked off, and they...
Definitely the highlights.
Yeah, they definitely lived up to the hype. So tomorrow is our fourth and final day from Melbourne and the Great Ocean Road. We don't want to leave, but we're going to go off track a little bit, and we're going to extend beyond the normal path. So it should be lots of fun.
Catch you then.
See you then.